All right, now we're going to look at three different contexts. And what we're trying to solve here is how can people become more sustainable with their energy use? The first context I want to talk about is the house. How can we become more energy sustainable in the house? What can we do?
So within the house, there's the obvious things, more efficient equipment, lighting, right? There's these items, but it's also your building envelope, right? If you think about that's your walls and your windows, and adding insulation, putting kind of a sealant around your windows to reduce leakage, and all of these. The thing to do is, if you can, get an energy audit, right? So that people can actually tell you where all the problems are. But if you don't have insulation or a lot of insulation, get it. So those are kind of the big things for your house.
Interesting. Interesting. All right, let's move into the work context. So from a work perspective, how do we become more energy sustainable?
More telecommuting, right? Less having to drive in every day. When I was a consultant for San Francisco International Airport in California, and the engineering building, I would drive by it at night and all the lights be on. And it's just like, this is the engineering building. This shouldn't be the case. So taking your sustainable practices and actually bringing it to your workplace. So turning off lights. When you're the last person to leave the office, turn them off. Or have a sensor there that turns it off for you if you don't want to think about it. But a lot of the same things that happen at home can happen at a business, but because there's no one really, it's their job to handle that in the workspace, it often falls by the wayside. So I would say those are the two big things: is not having to go into the office all the time, every single day, and also being more thoughtful about how the energy is being used at your office.
Interesting. And I suppose even like how we get to work, if we do have to go to work, using
Yes,
public transport potentially, as opposed to using your own car, or cycling if that's an opportunity or an option.
absolutely. That's it. Your mode of transportation is key, right? We I remember when I moved to Melbourne, right? The the rail system. I was just like, this is amazing. I can actually get anywhere. Coming from America, there's only a few cities that are that have relatively good subway stations and trains, and so it
Yeah,
was really exciting to
you
be
were
able to
living in
do that.
Hawthorne, so you had the trams right there as well.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, just hop on the tram, and it was just like this beautiful thing. I could go to the beach, I could go downtown. It was just like, oh, this is amazing. What is this?
exactly, exactly. And I must say, working from home, it's good. I like it. I think it's great. And from a wider, I guess, energy perspective, it also means redevelopment of a lot of parts of the city, which, your traditional central business district. A lot of it can be redeveloped into mixed usage as opposed to just massive commercial spaces which become deserted islands during non-work days or after work hours, which will also, I think, help redistribute a lot of, I guess, just a lot of everything.
Oh
Whether
yeah,
it's affordable
and it
housing, whether
increases the
it's
density, right? The more dense a place, the more energy efficient it's going to be, the more sustainable it's going to be. So yeah, no, that's a great point.
yeah, yeah. Cool. All right. The last one, context. This time we're talking about living. So day-to-day life. So not the physical home, not going to work, just day-to-day life. How can we become more sustainable with our energy use?
I think our habits and our extracurricular activities, right? I'm going to say it only one more time: planting trees, but gardens, right? Having gardens where you fresh fruit, being outside in nature, just inherently being outside in nature, I think will bring up other things for you, right? It will give you ideas of how you can do better and be more sustainable. Yeah, I think that would be my suggestion: is just be out, be in nature more, do some planting, whether gardening or what have you. Start being more intentional with your activities in your day-to-day lives.
That makes sense. And if we're outside, we're not using electricity inside, right? I mean, that makes a huge difference. Turn off.
Well, I hope you turn the TV off when you leave.
I mean, sometimes I just like the reassurance of walking into the house and going, Netflix is still on. You know, sometimes I like that. But, yeah. Okay, cool. So that aspect is there. And I guess, you know, something really interesting you said, being more purposeful, or you said intent.
Intentional, purposeful, yeah.
So proactively making choices, making better choices, which makes a big difference. Yeah. Okay, cool. I like that. Very good.